So
thanks for having us on.
Hey, man, no problem, no problem. I guess James may be joining us a little bit later.
Yeah, he's on the road right now, and he said he would call in. I guess maybe he's a little behind, or he's been pulled over, or caught at a toll booth. And they're doing a Sonny Corleone. I don't know.
Let's hope not.
Well, sometimes when he opens his mouth, you never know what the hell's going to happen. So,
so what you guys been up to lately?
Well, we just completed an EP that we're going to release the 28th of May, and we're actually going to have it exclusively available on the official website. So we're going to have like downloads, and then if you want to order a hard CD, and see how that goes. So we've been doing a lot of studio work, and we've been gigging more, kind of really honing in on how we want the show to go, the set list, and stuff like that.
Cool, man. So last we talked, you guys were looking for a singer. Any luck?
This is basically where we're at. We're actively looking, but we continue with Sean doing the gigs. We're studio work, rehearsing new material, writing new material, until someone comes that actually maybe has a backbone. I mean, we get email. We put not. I mean, we don't do it like the old school way, like putting up flyers anymore. We put ads on the internet and shit like that, and we'll get some people, and they either never follow through, or they're maybe in the shower they believe they're a half decent singer, but I don't know. And it's we give people credit for reaching out and giving it a shot. That's awesome, and we give them every opportunity to show us what they could do, and we just haven't found anybody quite yet. And so we're, like I said, we actively go with it, but we're still working with Sean, and he's content with it right now. It's just that's where we're at.
Cool, and it's good to hear that Sean's back from the dead. So
yeah, man, let me tell you, he had one hell of a freaking winter, man. I mean, it's just. We didn't know what the hell we really didn't know what was going to happen. We were kind of like in limbo, but I mean, he got it back together, and everything's coming. He's getting everything back to normal. So we're as soon as he says, "Hey, I'm okay," we started up the engines again.
Cool. So now, you guys, you mentioned you're gigging a lot. What shows you got coming up? I know James was telling me you got a bunch of shows.
Yeah, the two that I know right off the top of my head are we have May 23rd playing at the Voltage Lounge in Philly. It's right next to the Electric Factory, and we are doing a show the 29th of June with a band called a new upcoming band. They're a bunch of young guys. They're kind of like a metal funk. It's kind of cool. Love Jones. That's the 29th of June. That's at the Nail in Ardmore. And I know we have some other things coming up. James has been working out some of those schedules. So I've been doing more of the studio stuff. So I was hoping he'd call in. Maybe he'd let us know.
Well, now back to the new CD. Now it's Epilogue, right?
Right. It's an EP for us. There's 3 brand new tracks that were kind of swarming around the last time we were in the studio, and we redid one of the songs that we do live that actually showed up on our debut EP last year. We re-recorded it because it's definitely a staple in the live set, and people seem to like it. It's one of our I think it's the first song Sean and I did when we first got together to start working on material. So it was something that I had worked on already, and then we kind of put the finishing touches on it. So we redid that, and then there's just some stuff from Breakout and Harlequin that were remixed to kind of fit the new recordings.
Cool. So now, I mean, you guys are pounding out the music here. I mean, you did December Wind, Harlequin, and now Epilogue.
Yeah, you know what? Some review overseas that said we were the most prolific heavy metal band in the world. So I don't know if that's a compliment or not. And I realize that some people, like, may look at it like, well, man, that's a lot, and you kind of maybe are just pumping it out, and you're just throwing shit out there. I look at it two ways. One, like, in the old days, I mean, bands, that's what they did. I mean, if that's what you're doing, you pump out the music. If you're writing all the time, then you're always doing something. And I feel that we're in a groove, and we're taking advantage of it, because I mean, there's going to be a time when we hit a wall, and maybe some people already felt we hit the wall. I don't know, but I'm saying for us as the writers, we're just kind of going with the flow, and when the flow isn't there, then we're not going to do it. When you're in the studio, and if you're writing while you're in the studio, and then you have material that you're bringing into the studio at the same time. I mean, not everything gets used all the time, or let's shelf that for now, or here's some ideas, or whatnot. And that's kind of where we were with some of our material. And we actually, because Sean had such a rough winter, we're actually behind on our original schedule that we were going to have a follow-up full-length disc that we're pushing back to maybe summer or even fall at this point. But all the music for that's already recorded. And we had recorded some of that during the Harlequin studio time. You got to take advantage of studio time. So
Right.
So you're just going with it, and I think it's good.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, if you can do music, I mean, if that's what you like to do, and however people receive it, that's one thing. But we're giving the options out there, and especially I guess today, as I ramble on, it seems like that listeners get bored very quickly because of the massive amount of information they can get from the internet.
Right.
I mean, you go on YouTube and you're watching some of your favorite bands, and then all of a sudden you're discovering new stuff, and you're somewhere else. You're going down the rabbit hole, and so you got to kind of keep yourself fresh in a way.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know, and it's fun. Listen, we're enjoying doing it, so it's.
Well, cool, man. Well, no, I know exactly what you mean. Some of the bigger bands, they'll release their debut CD, and then it might be 3 or 4 years before their sophomore follow-up.
Right.
And you're thinking, like, wow, shit, that CD's been out for 3 or 4 years? What?
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And I mean, as you're getting older, man, you figure, you got a window, and that window gets smaller all the time. So you want to take advantage of it. You just never know what the hell tomorrow's going to bring. I mean, God forbid something could happen, and so like, why not? Why not take advantage of the time you have now? You got to live right now. Fuck the rest.
Right. I agree, brother. So, well, the first song I want to play tonight is "Only One."
Okay.
What can you tell us about that tune?
Well, again, when Sean and I first got together, it was actually a tune that I had already written. I was actually writing it with my son. He plays drums, and we were doing some writing. And he wrote the original first draft of the lyrics, and then I went through and then tightened it up, did some edits. It's kind of how would you say, it's he's really into Japanese lore and anime and stuff like that. So the song is based into some of that stuff, where like it's an immortal type thing, and it's handed down through like the father, the son, and so on and so forth. And they have to just kind of like almost like the Highlander story.
Right.
They have to battle one another for. I guess for supreme rule or whatnot. So it's kind of, but it's more based in the Japanese lore.
Cool. All right, listeners, check this out. This is Only One from Corners of Sanctuary. We'll be right back.
has been cast onto me. The only thing I've found to dissipate the pain is the killing of my own kind. My brothers and mothers slain. We are great immortals. Fight after fight. A fight to the death. Nothing wins this just, it's sacred. Nothing is left. We've got the range of killing our kind. No matter how many are slain, they've come from God's way. There can only be one and no other. There can only be one. There's no place for another. There can only be one and no other. There can only be one. I am the one who kills another. There can only be one. There can only be one. I am the one who kills another. Only one.
All right, addicts, welcome back. We have Mick from Corners of Sanctuary with us. Mick, how you doing?
Hey, everyone, how are you?
Cool, cool. So now we were talking a little bit off air there, and well, I guess the difference between American and European metal, or their opinion of it, or
Well, I mean, I feel, and I'm not bashing anybody, but in the course of the time here with Corners of Sanctuary, I think that there's definitely an elitist feel in terms of European view on metal. I think they feel believe that's where it came from. It came from Europe, and where American metal, and I guess there's some debate on that, but in some of the views that I've had people express to me, American metal is pretty much considered that whole late '80s hair shit that came out and pretty much ruined the genre altogether. So there's definitely a biased opinion about it, and I think we were talking about. I know we had gotten some flack, and I don't know if we should be talking about bad stuff, but what the hell's the difference? That our songs may be too short, so like they may not be considered like musical compositions, that are worthy of, I guess, time, when I guess there's other bands doing 18-minute songs. And listen, that's cool. The members of this band did progressive metal for a good number of years. It's fantastic stuff, but it was just like not something that we wanted to do again. What did Billy Joel say? They cut it down to 305. If you're going to really get real airplay, I guess. I don't know. But it's. I think that they have. There's definitely a standard, and sometimes Americans don't meet it. Maybe that's just us.
Well,
what we're experiencing.
Me personally, I have the attention span of a goldfish, and like I can listen to an 18-minute song, but not song after song after song, because I'll lose. I'm done. I'm gone, and I want to hear the next song already.
Right, I hear you.
And not that they're all bad songs or whatever, but again, it's the attention span thing.
Right. No, I agree with you. I think most people are like that. It's it's again, that's like why you look at it. That's why it's not, whatever music genre you're talking about, it's not mainstream, right? The mainstream music is enough to keep people's attention, and then it moves on. And I guess you could say, I mean, you're really expanding your horizons when you're creating some like progressive metal or stuff like that, maybe showing your ability as a musician, as a writer, as a creator, and that's fantastic. But then I feel that there's something to be said about like those musicians, writers, creators that can hook you in a short time.
Right.
Right, and a feeling's created or a mood is created. I mean, like you think about like some of the worst movies that have ever been out there had some of the greatest trailers. So the trailers did their job. They got people into the seats. And and help fill the box office receipt. Oh, so yeah. I guess it all depends on how you're looking at it, what you're looking at.
Right. I agree. Yeah.
No, I don't.
Yeah, no, man, no. Like I said, I have a very short attention span, and like a shiny piece of tinfoil will get me distracted. So.
I don't know. Yeah. Well, and again, that's kind of why I think James goes to the ball and cock jokes.
Oh shit! So let's get back to epilogue here. The next song I got up is Victoria. New song.
Okay. That's a song about like battle. And I was just talking to Sean the other night. I said, "Man, we've really become like a battle type band. Like we write a lot of battlefield type lyrics. We have a tendency to go towards that, and that's what it is. It's another one of those songs, and it talks about how maybe more on the there's the idea that everybody's pumped up to fight for whatever it is, the cause that they're fighting for their nation, for their people, for their leader or whatnot. But then there was a flip side to this song, and it's about about putting your life on the line for someone else. Is it worth it? I mean, and in maybe some cases you don't have a choice, and we've seen that through history. I mean, right. Men and women have been drafted. And had to go fight somebody else's war. I think System of a Down said, what did they say? They said, why do you always send the poor to go fight someone else's war? I thought, so it was along that. And Victoria is, I think it's the Roman name for the goddess of victory. So we went with that just rather than saying victory. Thought it was a little bit more of a play on words.
Cool. All right, listeners, check it out. This is Victoria from Corners of Sanctuary. We'll be right back.
Of
All right, addicts. Welcome back. Sorry for the delay. Me and Mick were bullshitting here for a little bit. So yeah, we're back. So we were talking about I guess the different eras of metal. Right?
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
And back in the day, you could tell a band immediately from their singer or from the guitarist, and how a lot of groups today are that cookie cutter sound, or sound a lot alike, and you may not know one band from another. They're all trying to do the same thing, right?
Yeah, I would say. I mean, I wouldn't say everybody, but there's a huge crop that a lot of it sounds the same, and I think the ability to be musical sometimes gets lost with trying to be as heavy as you possibly can, as dark and gloomy as you possibly can, play as fast as you possibly can. I mean, and they're all accomplishments. I mean, it's all quality ability. And again, I'm not putting it down, but in terms of, like you were saying, keeping your interest or provoking a feeling or a mood or some memorable experience, I think some of it's lost. Some of it is lost.
Right.
I mean, so it's some of it. Like the fastest band in the world. They got 10 songs. They're all under a minute. Well, I mean, it's kind of like a novelty.
Right. Can you make a career doing that?
Well, I guess you can make a short time career, but I mean, the way things come and go now, it's a flash in the pan. So I don't know. Can you parlay it into a long-term career? I don't know. But I mean, look at Judas Priest has parlayed it into a phenomenal career. I mean, look at AC/DC. I mean, they parlayed it into a phenomenal career, and they've never been. I don't. They don't have any 18-minute songs, do they?
No, I don't think so.
I mean, I'm not a huge AC/DC fan, but there's some good stuff there.
Right. Now, here, even for instance, take a band like Dragon Force. I dig them. I really do.
Yeah, I like them. They're good. I can't listen to them for long periods of time.
Right. But every song is 800 beats a minute. But they're great. They're great. I dig them, but it's just a song here and there that'll strike me.
Right.
But
again, I'm a fan of a singer who sings, male or female. Right. I want to hear the singer. I want to hear guitar, but if the band has a singer, I want to hear the singer as well. I'm not interested in a song that has 2 minutes of vocals and 18 minutes of lead guitar, and then finish off with vocals. I want to hear a good mixture of both. I think one is supposed to accent the other. The lead, where now leads have become like a song in itself. I think it's supposed to accent the song, enhance the rhythm, because without that rhythm behind it, it's the lead is just nothing, in my opinion, because the hook is the rhythm, right?
Absolutely,
unless they changed it.
No, that's it, man. That's it.
I mean, Walk This Way, right, from Aerosmith.
Oh God Almighty, that's probably one of the most famous hooks.
Yeah, and it's it's a phenomenal song. That especially, and it's lasted this long. So.
Oh yeah, yeah, there's so many examples. Smoke on the Water, Shook Me All Night Long.
Right.
Yeah, I know exactly. Yeah.
And they all tend to be, simplistic or basic. And simplistic and basic doesn't necessarily mean that it's easy. I mean, his name's escaping me right now. AC/DC's drummer, Phil Rudd.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, that guy's a millionaire how many times over? He does pretty much the same two beats.
Right.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? compared to Portnoy or Peter or something like that. I mean, it's I guess it's fundamental, but how good is he to keep that fundamental beat consistently without ever missing a beat?
Right, exactly. Yeah.
So I mean, again, I guess it's preference, absolutely, but you can't take away from what people have achieved, whether someone deems it to be simplistic or whatnot. I don't know.
Right. Well, and then getting back to another thing you said is that the musicians today are far more talented than they were back in the day.
Oh yeah, the ability. Oh, phenomenal. I guess because their heroes were different than the heroes that the guys from the late 70s, early 80s were following. More blues type, a lot of pentatonic scale, things of that nature. Where then you got guys like we were talking about, Gus G and guys from Dragon Force and all. I mean, they had different heroes, and so they were different sounds, and it's just and I mean more power to them. It's awesome.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. Definitely, man. But that just I guess just shows you just how much this genre of metal has grown and split apart.
It's grown phenomenally. Unfortunately, the splitting apart is what's sad. I mean, because the roots, regardless of what, if people don't feel that metal didn't start till '95 with Avenged Sevenfold or whatever, or did it start when Black Sabbath started or whatever? But I mean, historically, it all had the same origin, and you go down the timeline, it's been rejected constantly by mainstream. It's been accepted a little bit, rejected a little bit, it's been back and forth. I mean, in recent years, I guess it's some of the characters of the metal scene have been embraced by mainstream for whatever reason, maybe because they are characters of themselves. But still, metal is still kind of, in all its forms, is still kind of like that hidden. I mean, you put on MTV Music Award, or the Video Music Awards, or or some of these music shows. I mean, 9 times out of 10, it's still pop and rap. How many metal guys are you seeing out there? I mean,
right.
Like the real metal guys.
Right.
So I mean, I don't know. I don't.
No, I hear. Well, and I think everybody remembers when Metallica lost to Jethro Tull.
Jethro Tull. Yeah, I was just thinking of that. I was because they were so disconnected with what it really was, or what it really is, because it's, and the sad thing is when people go to portray, say, like metal or the hard rock thing, it's always some joking clown-like thing. Like the other night, I watched with my daughter the season premiere of Wipeout. That show, they go through all that, obstacle courses and stuff. Well, they had some heavy metal section, and the guys dressed in heavy metal, they were throwing anvils. They all had crazy wigs and the crazy spandex and all that, and doing the stupid pseudo Gene Simmons with the tongue and all that kind of crap. But that's how metal's looked at, and for the longest time, when grunge took over, that's how metal was described in pictures and as more of a goofball thing.
Yeah, as soon as you said that, it reminded me of Beastie Boys' video for "No Sleep Till Brooklyn."
Yeah, yep,
that's exactly it, man. Yeah. Well, the whole freaking '80s hair scene didn't help that much either.
No, it didn't. Listen, I back then, we wore spandex. I didn't wear crazy colored ones, but maybe I did. I don't remember. But we did it. We still played our brand of music. We weren't doing, because at the end of 87, 88, 89, they were turning out bands left and right, because everybody was trying to jump on board with stuff. And Dio once said it in an interview, that those bands just killed the what metal was trying to achieve. Like the seriousness of it. I mean, and Dio took it serious.
Yep.
His writing and the way he created and stuff like that. And and he never sold out like that. And I guess so. I mean, it became more of a party, right? It was synonymous with party.
Yeah.
And I mean, and listen, I guess bands didn't help it either. I mean, because they were doing the same thing.
Right.
Would any of us have done something differently? Who the hell knows? You know what I mean? I'm not going to cast the first stone. We're just talking now historically. Right. This is where we're at. God knows. I guess we would have, partaken into the whole scene as well. I mean, that's what everybody did. I don't know.
I would have if somebody waved a record deal in front of my face. Oh hell
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I mean, it was. I mean. It was hard back then. I mean, it was hard to record songs. It was hard to get heard. I mean, it was a struggle to get into clubs. Because I mean, like especially if you were in an area like Philadelphia, where it was like a hotbed at that time, because of Cinderella and Bon Jovi, and so they were. I mean, it was hard to get decent gigs. In the bigger clubs because they were already being booked up and people were going with stuff, and so I guess you had. I mean, I understand why people went that way. It became more and more outrageous for that time. I mean, looking back on it, people laugh about but at that time it was considered shock and outrageous.
Right. And I think the formula, they all had the platinum blonde singer.
Yeah.
Then there was the first hit, the second hit, and then the third hit was a ballad.
Ballad, right. I was just talking to some people about that the other day. It's like, and I know, like, with Harlequin, and I said, well, if this was, like, 87, we would have released Crying Angel at some point because it was a ballad. Like, it was expected. If you were a metal band, you had to put out a ballad.
Exactly, yep.
I mean, it helped Whitesnake. It got Cinderella even more popularity. Even Poison,
Oh yeah,
that song took off for them. So I mean, like, what do you? I mean, again, I guess if you're looking at it in terms of dollars and cents, well, that was the way to go. That formula worked. It was a smart business decision.
Right.
I mean, hell, White at the time. I mean, you remember the band White Lion when they the Children Cry or whatever that one.
Right.
And that they just went out the roof.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And it was a formula, and the bands, it seemed like that didn't follow that formula fell by the wayside, but fell by the wayside mainstream. But they're the ones that are still around.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
well, there was a thing. If you remember, like a lot of times, their sophomore album was like, let's say, with certain metal bands, became more bluesy.
Yeah.
Right. Like so. I don't know how into Cinderella you were, because we were so close to Philly. It was like it was one of those bands. I mean, their first album is rocking, right?
Yeah.
They're a very underrated band. I felt. Tommy Kiefer was a phenomenal guitar player. He actually just released some stuff and acoustic stuff type of thing, and it's pretty cool. But anyway, their second album was even more bluesy, right? And by their third album, it was like really blues.
Yeah.
It was like a hard rock rather than so much, because they came out and the hair and and they're purple and stuff like that, and then it got less and less. They became more like bluesy cowboy type guys.
Right. Yeah.
And then there's I don't know. I don't know. I mean, a lot of bands were doing that. They were changing their sound. They were changing the sound, maybe because that's more of what they wanted to do. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it was just to get their foot in the door and then.
Yeah, give one for the record company. This is what they want. Get some fans out there, and I mean, like you said, like hell, if it was somebody was waving the record contract back then, because they were gold. I mean, how many of those bands just kind of like they were able to make some money. They were going on tour with bigger name bands. I mean, it was like literally overnight success for some of those guys.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
So yeah, why? I mean, I understand. Who's to say that that we wouldn't have done it, we probably would have, because it was gold.
Right. No, I know I would have. Early 20s, teens, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And bands back then, if you remember, they would tour a long time. So
Right.
I mean, if you got hooked up on a tour, I mean, you could be on the road for a year and a half nonstop.
Right.
Like when the Scorpions said they did a worldwide live tour, them motherfuckers really toured the friggin' world like twice.
Yeah.
They didn't do a 6-week stint and then take a couple months off and then come back again.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what's cool about that? They were already at a point in their career where they didn't have to do that.
Right, yeah.
So that
At that time, they were already considered the old guys.
Right.
Yeah. Like them. I mean, Dio at that time was considered the old guy. In retrospect to like the those newer bands that were coming up and out. So yeah, I mean that's. But then again, the whole playing out thing has changed. Like it's not. Selling out the big places, arenas are gone. You know what I mean? That kind of thing.
Yep. Yeah. They were the days, right?
Yeah. I mean, I guess this is a depressing show with me. That's why we need Jim and the Bulls.
Should I check my basement for James?
Yeah, maybe he's hiding out down there. Fuck.
Oh shit, man. Let's getting back to Corners of Sanctuary, man.
What's going on with them? I don't know. That sounds depressing, doesn't it? I don't know. Like I said, we're going to be playing some gigs, and we do have all music recorded for our next full length album of all new stuff. And when we're gonna probably, I think that we're gonna start vocals in June. Start hitting the studio for that, and then I mean our hope is to maybe get it out by the end of the summer. And if it doesn't, then it doesn't. But we'll see what happens. We'll probably catch some backlash about that because we release so much shit all the time. But hey, whatever.
Right. Well, where can the listeners find Corners of Sanctuary, man?
Well, you can go to the official webpage, cornersofsanctuary.com, and we just had it revamped, so there's a new look to it. It's pretty cool looking. It has all our social networks that you can link right to. You can check us out on Facebook. I think Reverb Nation, MySpace. I think we now have a Twitter account. All that screwy social network stuff. But you can if you link on our site, you'll be able to get into all that stuff. You can get us on iTunes. You can if you're into the download format. Plus a host of other like Rhapsody, eZoom, eMusic, or something like that. All those places. And then you can get hard discs directly from our website if you're interested in any of that kind of stuff.
Cool. Well, now, talking about the social networks, I guess a lot of the younger guys out there, or girls for that matter, maybe take it a little bit for granted. But like older guys, this social network, Facebook, MySpace, Reverb Nation, it's almost like a godsend.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like again, we'll go back. As we creep back into history,
the Wayback Machine.
Yeah, the Wayback Machine. Jesus, who the fuck are these old bastards? Somebody shoot them. It's like taking a horse out, right? You know what I'm saying? It was so damn hard to get flyers into the next town. Or get your tape down to Jersey or Florida was like a whole nother world. Like L.A. was kind of like the Mecca. Like, are we ever going to get enough money to get to L.A. type of thing? You send your shit out and you don't know if it ever gets anywhere. And most of the time, it either got lost in the mail or it fell into a trash can. Right. Some sad ass promo with a cassette tape in it. You know what I mean? And a band picture and crayon writing. Hey, this is the band members. Can you sign us, please?
I've been there. I know.
Now you can create this presence and you can connect with people all over the world. I mean, it's just I still find how it's so like the young people. I mean, this is what they grew up on, so it's normal, but it's phenomenal. I mean, it's good and bad. It's definitely good and bad. And I mean, you could really take advantage of it on both ways, but just connecting with people, it's phenomenal. It really is.
Right.
Getting your music heard. I mean, just getting your music heard, like what you're doing for us here tonight. Even though I'm boring the shit out of you, I mean, you're playing our music. That's awesome. I mean, whether people like it or not, it's like, hey, listen, the music's there, and you choose to do what you want with it, but that it's happening. That's so freaking cool. It really is. I mean, it's so I mean, I appreciate what you're doing with the whole internet thing. I mean, you definitely used it in the most positive way. I mean, you hit Facebook every day. Good morning, everyone. Good night, everyone. I mean, that's it's like it's keeping the community alive.
Right.
And and I think that the social network should be used as a positive thing like that, and not as like everybody. It's a voice for everyone to rant about. I don't know, taking a shit or
exactly. I the way I use it is I don't want to bore people with my personal life. Hey, I'm off to work now. See you later.
Stopping for coffee.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't want everybody to know how boring I am. I got an image to protect.
I got what you're saying. No, so we're trying to do the best we can with it. I mean, we're still learning it. Like there's a system to it. Like, and it's funny. One day you're up, one day you're down. One day you got all these likes. All of a sudden, then people don't like you anymore. Kind of weird shit like that. Like we're still getting used to Twitter. We're up, we're down, we're way down.
Yeah.
Like we're having some screwy shit going on right now with Reverb Nation. I don't know what the hell happened with that. But, something. But anyway, I guess it's the way it goes.
Yeah, I know exactly Reverb Nation. Don't even get me started with that damn thing.
I mean, I like it so, we can direct people if they want to hear some tracks or something. It doesn't clog up our server. There's a big word, server. So the download time's faster. I mean they're a juggernaut, so I mean it's not clogging anything up for them. So I mean, we utilize it, and it gives us a chance to connect with other people, and it's an advertising tool to get people to our website too. I mean, it's all positive. I mean, to some degree, I mean, with bands, you have to do some type of like business type work to get people to at least hear you or see you or notice you. Otherwise, you're having a party and not inviting anybody.
Right.
Trying to read a book in the dark. You know what I mean? Trying to do an interview without James. I guess that's how it stuck with me.
Oh shit. Well, I hope he's all right.
Yeah, I hope he's all right too. It's odd for him to want to miss his chance to ball and cock everyone to death. He may be making his way up to your place. Just take a look after the interview. See if he made it to your basement.
Yeah, I'll see if I'll have to poke around. Oh shit. Well, I guess the last song I want to play tonight is Revenge. What can you tell us about that tune?
That's a song Sean wrote. It may have been about his tragic first marriage. I'm not exactly sure. But I mean, it just basically talks about. I think the revenge that happens in it is more or less like, hey, like every dog gets his day. Like life will catch up to you. You treat people like shit. Sooner or later, it comes back to you. Tenfold. So it's kind of an aggressive song. We did a video for it. And actually, it was we did do like a performance type of video for it, but then we wound up opting to throw in a lot of the behind the scenes footage of us screwing around, and I think there's a photo shoot in there, and it's been well received. It's a fun video, you know what I mean? So, and it's a cool rockin' song, and that originally appeared on our Breakout CD last year, and it's kind of got a resurgence. It's kind of like a B-side type of thing. The whole epilogue with the additional songs from Harlequin and Breakout are kind of like B-sides in a way, even though B-sides don't really exist anymore.
Right.
But songs that we kind of dug, but didn't seem to really, they got kind of shattered by a few other tunes on the recording. So yeah.
Cool. Well, Mick, thank you, brother, for hanging out with me tonight.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I hope you'll have us back, and I'll make sure next time that James is here with a new list of ball and cock jokes.
Definitely, man. You guys are welcome back anytime. Just hit me up.
We appreciate all the support. Real quick, thanks a lot, Kathy from Loud and Loaded. You're always on our side, man. It's always in our corner, kicking ass, and we truly appreciate it. And thanks to all the fans that with the good comments, and you know what? And thanks to all the naysayers. If you don't like it, that's cool, man. I just appreciate you taking the time to bash the shit out of it.
Well said, man. All right, Mick. Thanks, brother.
All right, man. Take it easy.
Check this out, listeners. This is Corners of Sanctuary with Revenge. We'll be right back.
But I know better of you. These words will soon be your demise.